Hello everyone, hope everyone is well, enjoying this wonderful weather. Today I am bringing you back to a bit more dynamic Pilates. We did a nice lying down one with some stretching, so today is going to be starting up on your feet. Again, as usual, any niggly aches and pains, just take it easy, take a level down. Don't try and push yourself to a point where you're going to injure yourself. That's the most important thing. Just be very mindful and just focus, like driving through the core the whole time. So we're just going to, obviously we're incorporating stretch like we always do, which is always a lovely place to be, is when you do Pilates and stretch as a combination. So we're going to start on your feet, standing at the back of the mat. So I'm just going to position myself. That should be about right. Okay. So just stand softly through the knees. Taking a long deep breath in. Closing your eyes, feeling your rib cage expanding. As you exhale, just let it all drop. Feel your shoulders dropping down towards the ground as you allow your rib cage to relax. Then inhale, increase the rib cage, fill your lungs, and then open your mouth to exhale. Just do that one more time. Then lift the shoulders up to the ears, take a rotation back. So just rolling the shoulders back behind, squeeze them down towards the floor, and doing that 3 or 4 times, loosening up. Keeping your eyes closed if you wish. And then your last one, just hold the shoulders back, stand tall. So part your feet a little bit wider. Okay, and I'm just going to move forward just to demonstrate a little bit more. So we're going to drop down into a squat and extending the arms forward. We then lower the fingertips to the floor and we try and extend our legs as much as possible, then soft, keeping the knees slightly soft, rolling up. Stand tall, rolling the shoulders at the top, sink down into a squat, extending those arms forward, then drop your fingertips to the floor. Try and extend the legs, so stretch out those hamstrings and roll it up. So I'm just going to show you, just going to tilt the camera a little bit so you can see my upper body. So we drop down, extending through the spine, arms forward. We look down, we soften the spine, my fingertips come to the ground, and I try and extend as much as I can, and then you keeping the knees soft, you squeeze through your abs to undulate and roll up that spine, roll your shoulders once to the top. So squat, fingertips, extend, soft spine, squeeze your abs, roll up, roll the shoulders. Now if your back isn't liking that, you come down into your squat, you pause, you lower your fingers, you extend the legs, and then perhaps just walk up your legs if you need a little bit more of a warm up through the spine. 3 more. Fingertips to the ground, extend and roll it. So let's go for another 2 for me. I'm just going to open a window in here because it's rather warm. So apologies if you hear any outside noise. So last one. Drop it down. Fingertips to the floor, extend the legs, roll it up, pause at the top, roll the shoulders. So we're all going to come together now, staying in that same position, drop down into a squat, extend, and then press up and down in your squat. So we want to keep the feet parallel, the knees following the middle of the toe, staying in line with your hips, and then that extension through the spine, and the reach forward in the arms. 5, 4, 3, last 2, last 1. Drop the fingers down, extend the legs and walk through your legs, allowing your hips to sway side to side as we stretch and open up through those hamstrings. Dip your chin towards your chest and just really begin to loosen everything a little bit more. So you may need to have a very deep bend in your knee if you're particularly tight in your hamstrings, but I'd rather you got your fingertips to the floor as a little bit of support and you just bend and extend. Pause and extend a little bit more. And then from there, Look forward, bend your knees, take a walk forward. I'm just going to take myself back a little bit and then lower yourself down to your hands and knees. We inhale, look up, lift the bottom slightly, let the back dip. Pull your shoulder blades back very subtly. And then curl under as we squeeze into flexion, into that cat stretch. And then repeat, inhale, look up, bottom up. And exhale, curl it in. So just do 3 more of those. Really allow that spine to kind of loosen up and give way. I'm just going to tilt my camera again. Good, keep breathing. Should we come to your last one? Curl it up for the last time. Scoop that belly in and then bring your spine into neutral. So we're going to take the front leg, which is my left leg, back behind. And then I'm going to take my right hand forward. Just take a little stretch through that back heel, pushing through the back of the leg, feeling your calf stretching. And then find your balance, hip bones facing down, lift the leg up. We inhale, tap down. We exhale, lift up. And then we squeeze to the 2 corners of the room back into the middle. Tap, lift, open, center. Tap, lift, open, center. So we're just working that one side. When you open your arm and leg, make sure that you don't allow your body to float with it, okay? Your torso needs to stay beautifully in the center and you're just working the arm and the leg together. If it feels too much on your wrist, if you have dodgy wrists, lose the hand, so you're supporting your weight with both hands and just move the leg on its own. Exactly the same motion, up, out, back and down. 3 more. Make sure you are breathing. Now, last one. Back into the middle, tap down into the floor. Take a breath, lift up and pulse. Now squeeze through the abs. Don't let the lower back dip. Squeeze that butt, that front buttock, the right buttock, so the one on the floor should be feeling at 5, 4, 3, 2, and park it. Stretch into that cat stretch. And then release. So we're going straight over to the other side. So we're going to extend the back foot, my right foot behind, and then just fingertips reach forward and just a little push into that back leg to stretch the calves. Stretch the calf. Make sure you're not putting too much pressure into your stabilizing arm. Then we're going to find that center, drift up. So we tap down, we lift, we come to the corners, back to the middle, tap it down. Squeeze, center, and down. So remember, if it's too much on the wrists, take the weight into both sides and work that leg on its own. 4 more. Really tense up in that stabilizing buttocks. You're feeling the work coming from there. Now, on that last one, we lift up and we hold, lengthen, and let's pulse. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. Come on, work it. Reach the fingers forward, press down through that heel at the back. 5, 4, 3, 2, and park it on this side. Take the knees wide, take a child's pose. Sit your bottom down into the heels, extend your fingertips, reach into the corners of your mat, settle your head and chest to the floor. Take some long, deep breaths there as you melt the head down, melt the chest down, reach the fingers, feeling your lower back stretching out. Take one more breath. And then bring yourself forward. Good. So from there, you're going to tuck your toes under. We're going to lift into a downward facing dog, so an upside down V. Walk through the legs again like we did after our squats. Bending, extending. Now, just make sure you try and keep your hands spread wide so you're feeling the weight into all 5 fingers, or 4 fingers and thumb. You need to make sure you're squeezing through your abs to lift your hips and feel your spine stretching away, each vertebra pushing away to lengthen, and then work down into those legs. So use your camera, if it's on, to have a look at your body shape, and you really want to try and create that triangular position through the body. Ground the heels, take a breath. Now from here, we're going to inhale, we're going to roll forward, and that front leg, my left leg, is going to swing forward to a hover, and then it returns as I press back. Inhale, swoop it forward. Exhale, return. Now you don't have to lift the leg, you can just gently roll through the spine to here and lift back up to here. It's your choice. Otherwise, come forward, pause, and extend back up. So just make sure you're floating forward, your shoulders land above your wrists, you're working into your core, you're coming into a plank, and then you're lifting yourself out of it. 3 more in that left leg, or with both your feet on the floor, that's absolutely fine. And after your last one, you lift those hips back up to the sky. Just squeeze up and lift. You're going to float forward one more time, and we're going to bring that knee with us, and we're going to hold it there into a hover. 6, 5, see if you can hold it. 3, 2, and 1, drop it down. So when you drop it down, your heel pretty much lines up with the outside of your hip. Slide this right leg or the back leg away from you. Just feel that stretch into your quad as you sit into your heel. So I'm just literally stretching into the thigh, very straight, subtly, but also down the front of my ankle. We're going to change this into pigeon. So after you've paused here, I want you to just roll into that buttock, take your foot, slide it out. So my knee is now pointing out that way. And then if you can, and your hips and knees allow it, roll in to your pigeon. So you're here. Okay, so remember, if that's not good for your hips and knees, you stay in the buttock. We lift up tall. So this is a stretch where you can actually fall over. So don't go as deep if you can't quite make it. I don't think I can make it today. My front hand comes in front. My opposite arm is going to open up, and I'm going to twist and look up towards my hand. We're going to take a deep breath, and then we're going to swoop this arm through, and ideally you're dropping down into the side of your head, but don't let your body fall like that. You need to stay up in your hips, and you're just reaching through, and that is a really deep buttock stretch. It forces a lot of weight into the side. You might want to go as far as here and just look towards that hand. That's fine, if that's enough for you, okay? It's a deep stretch, and like I said, you'll feel like you want to fall over. So if you are going to fall, take yourself out of the depth of the stretch and make it a little bit easier, maybe to here. 3 deep breaths wherever you are. I'm actually coming to our halfway point. And after your last breath, just slide the arm out. Use both your hands to ground down and lift up tall. And then you're going to sink down into that buttock and swing your feet around in front of you. Get hold of your feet and just sit yourself up tall. Get a lovely straight spine. Now I'm going to turn to face you, but you can just stay side on your mat. So we're going to work, first of all, into a bit of a stretch. So we're lifting up tall. We're going to roll onto our bottoms and hover our knees here. So we're going to lift the legs to tabletop, and that's your starting point. Pull your chest up tall. Just your left leg. Extend it up towards the sky and push your heels away. So stretch out into that left hamstring. Push that leg against this hand. Hold it for 2 more breaths. And then point the toe, release the leg. Right leg, extend it up. So what you need to do is keep your thighs in line, push that leg, lift your chest, shoulders down, squeeze into your abs to help drive that thigh in. And just stretch that right hamstring. 2 more breaths. And then release. So both legs, let's go. Extend, toes down, heels away. Lift the chest. So I'm just holding onto the legs lightly and I'm pushing them into extension and I'm raising my chest up. Just hold it there. 5, 4, try and straighten them. 2 and 1. Bend the knees. Drop the feet to the floor. Take a little stretch forward. And we're going to do some rolling motion. So, lightly holding onto those thighs still, staying in this forward curved position. You're going to gently rock back and up and hover, which I didn't do. Try to drop your toes. So we inhale, exhale, hover. Inhale, exhale, hover. Now, not everybody likes rolling, okay? If you've got really flat parts of your back that doesn't allow you to, then it feels a bit of a thud. So you might just want to drop your feet and just go through a little rolling motion here and then a rolling motion up and then lift up if you wish at the top. So that's just your alternative if rolling doesn't work for you. Otherwise, enjoy your rolling sensation. Keep the core control. So try not to let your feet come down at the top. 2 more. And then pause at the top. So here we are, back into our tabletop position. Lift the chest. If you can, release the arms. Extend your left leg to the sky and dorsiflex your feet. Keep those thighs in line. Lift your chest and squeeze into those abs. If it's too much, just lightly grab that leg again, okay? But if you can leave this arm out, do. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Bend the knees. Right leg, extend. Press through the sole of the foot. Lift the chest, squeeze. Put those thighs together. Breathe. 5, 4, pull that leg in. 2, and 1, bend the knees. And always catch the legs if you need a little bit of a breather. Let's extend both legs, toes in, heels away. Arms, lift the chest, squeeze deep into that core. 8, 7, come on, lengthen. 5, 4, lift the hands higher. 2, and 1. Bring the soles of the feet together. Lift yourself up and then curl forward. And just stretch into the inner thighs, the groin, the hips, and maybe that lower back if you're tight in that area. And just breathe. Now, because we've come back into that bent knee position, and we're still facing the right way, from here, we're going to take it straight into a pigeon stretch. So what I want to get you to do is leave your back leg where it is, lift yourself out, lean, and then move this leg all the way back behind you. Position this leg and then lift yourself into pigeon. So just find your stretch. I'm just showing you a way to come into it from that position. You can come into it however you wish. Again, if knees and hips don't like it, stay down in that buttock. And you might just want to lean forward. Otherwise, lift up into your fingertips. Take this front arm and open into a rotation. Look up towards that hand. Breathe as we twist. Inhale, exhale. Drop that arm through. So we're reaching through. Trying to get that head to the floor. Now this side is particularly tight for me, my right side, so it's not allowing me to reach all the way through without dropping out of the stretch. So I'm going to go halfway point again and just feel that deep stretch and just let your buttocks go. Don't hold that intensity. Just breathe and let the weight fall down into your hips. Just make sure you haven't fallen out of your stretch. 2 more breaths. And then begin to roll that arm back out again, hands to the floor. Lift yourself up towards you, pause. Tuck your toes under at the back, and then use your arms to power your body weight up. Downward facing dog. So walk the toes in and walk through your dog again. Let the hips rotate side to side. Squeeze up through the belly, lift the hips, extend the spine, and then find your center point. So we're going to work the other leg in that plank position. So options, extend your toes, and you can just roll forward, and then lift back up. Otherwise, take that back leg, right knee, sweep it forward, hover, and then press it back to the floor as you lift your hips. Inhale, float forward, squeeze deep into the abdomen. Exhale, press it back. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. So if you notice that my leg that's stabilized stays straight the whole time, I roll on the tips of my toes and I roll back onto the ball of my foot. That's all that leg is doing, it's just rolling through the ankle. 2 more of these. Last one. And then we lift into that downward facing dog. Strong pause, take a breath, one more time. Float your body weight forward, bring that knee if you can, and pause, breathe. 5, 4, 3, 2, and lift it up. Drop it down, drop your knees wide, take a child's pose. Whilst you're here, the hands are going to reach over towards me. That back arm is going to stretch as you lower your head and chest down, but pull back through your back hip. So your buttocks stay parked on your heels as best you can. And just breathe into the side stretch. Take it to the other side. Reach through the arms, side bend, lower the head and chest. And then walk your hands into the center, and then bring yourself flat down onto your tummies. Okay. So, relax your forehead down to your hands. Take your feet slightly wide, about shoulders or slightly wider than the shoulders. Press your toes down into the floor. Extend through your legs, pull your kneecaps up towards your hip bones and squeeze your abs as if you're sucking your belly away from the floor. Squeeze your butt. Slide your fingertips to the side of the head. We're going to inhale, lift up. Exhale, open out. Lift a little bit more as you squeeze. Breath in to return the fingers and float it down. So we come up, we open. We squeeze that a little bit more through the shoulder blades. We drift the fingers back to the sides of the head and we lower everything down. If that's a little bit too much for your back, then just reduce your range. So you might just want to do a little lift, a little opening, a little squeeze, returning the hands and lowering down, okay? So if you just reduce your range and don't go so high, you're going to find it's a lot easier. But the more you squeeze your lower abs in, the more you're going to support your lower back as you move through it. So just keep moving as I'm talking. Don't let your legs drift off the ground. You need to really separate the upper body from the lower body. Your core needs to be tight. Get that extra lift. You pull your shoulder blades up with those arms wide and then settle it down. But for a brief moment, straight back into your breath. 2 more. Now on your second one, I want you to lift up, open the arms, Squeeze up and press the arms. Relax the neck. Pull your shoulder blades together. 8, 7, 6. Squeeze it. Squeeze your abs. Squeeze your butt. 3, 2, and 1. Return the fingers and drop it down. And just turn your head to one direction and let your body relax. Bring your forehead back to relax on top of your hands. Your hands are stacked and your upper body staying grounded on the ground this time. So the legs, squeeze them together. Engage the abs, float the legs up. We're going to gently open the legs out wide. And as you bring them in, try and cross your foot over your heel. And then extend them out again and do the other side. So lift, lengthen, squeeze them together, and so on. And if this feels far too much in your lower back, because it is actually used, when you do that crossover position, it adds a little bit more pressure to that area. So if your back's feeling a bit dodgy, I want you to just do a single leg, out to the side, back to the middle and down. Lift, open, close and down, okay? So that's a lot more controlled and obviously less strain on the lower back. So wherever you are, just give me 2 more. When you're doing single legs, do 1 more each side. And then drop the legs down in the middle and cross them, lift them up, then lift your upper body if you can, otherwise leave it down, it doesn't feel right. And then just swim kick your legs. And if you want to take it up a level, take your arms wide and just hold here. Or if you wish, circle them around and swim kick the arms and legs together. 8, 7, 6. You don't have to use your upper body. You can just relax. 3, 2, and 1. Drop it down and just turn your head the opposite direction. Let your body relax. Roll through the hips if you wish. And then all I want you to do there is flip yourself over onto your backs. So we're going to turn over, lie flat to the ground. Get yourself into a nice neutral spine. Find your center of the mat. We're going to lift our arms up so they hover above our shoulders and the knees up to tabletop. So take a breath in, ground down through your spine. Rib cage, you need to avoid the rib cage popping, so draw the rib cage down. We breathe in to begin. Exhale, opposite arm to leg extends away. So my sole of the foot is pressing away. Then we inhale, return, and exhale, other side. So we're just lengthening through the body, stretching everything away. If it's too much, then just take it down a notch by tapping the toe as the arm extends, back into the middle, tap the toe, back into the middle, okay? So just that's your kind of level down. Feel a little bit tired. And if you feel you're in control, you're not rolling through your hips, you can just take it a little bit faster. Your choice. 8, 7, you can still do that with the toe tap. 6, 5, you can lose the arms if you wish. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Hug your knees in, a little roll side to side. Drop your feet, line them up with your knees and hips. Take a quick bridge whilst you're here, little presses. So this is like a little counter exercise to the abs before we work those abs again. So good 20 seconds, just pressing the hips up and down, breathing. Five more. 3, 2, and 1. Roll it out. So you can repeat that exercise again, or you can make it a little bit harder. If you want to make it a little bit harder, it's arms and legs together. So we're at tabletop. You can go back to your toe taps. You can go back to your leg extensions, or you can do both together. Extend and bend. Extend and bend. Yeah? So choose whatever works for you. Go back to that one again. But if you can, do a little crunch towards the heels and extend. Little crunch, a little pause, and back up. Now, if you're doing the opposite arm to leg, you need to remember what side you did, think about it, and then slowly lengthen away. So this one isn't going to get faster. You're just going to work on that slow intensity, that squeeze in, that extension through the body. Give me 6 more wherever you are. Save your toe taps, lose the arms. You might want to do your legs on their own, and then do a little crunch. Your choice. Should be the last 3, 2, last 1. Now everyone, curl into a little ball, turn your palms down and pump your arms in. So squeeze, 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 squeeze. Really pull your thighs in, pull your chest up, curling, curling, curling. And then you can extend your legs if you wish. You don't have to, it's your choice. You can push your legs away for 10 seconds. 8, 7, 6, 5, reach, 3, 2, and 1. Hug your knees in. We'll roll side to side. Just allow the knee to drop over towards me. Take your hand on that thigh and then twist back towards that back arm. Feel the chest melting down, the rib cage letting go. And you want to feel just across your armpit that stretch through the front of the shoulder. Little added hamstring stretch by extending the leg, catching the foot and just straightening out through that knee. Trying to drive the toes up towards my front shoulder. You can keep your foot down on the floor if you want to do this, but my sacrum, my lower back doesn't particularly like it, so I'm keeping it level with my hip. And just breathe as you take that leg a little bit higher up towards you. 2 more breaths. And then gently release the leg. Roll into the center and simply pause. And then after your next breath, drop to the other side. So it just gives your spine that little opportunity just to come back into neutral. Your back hand now comes on top of that thigh and we twist the front arm reaching through. Good 2 to 3 breaths. Take hold of that leg, extend it, catch it underneath if you can. Push the leg straight and then drive the toes up towards you and carry on twisting. Three breaths here, a little bit deeper. And then as you inhale, just release the legs back, float them back into the middle, hug them in one more time. Lift your head up towards your thighs, shoulders back and down, and just curl into that little ball. Roll around there. Lower your head, lower your shoulders, and just rotate the knees away from one another, pushing down into the bottom, pulling back in again. It's just circling the legs 3 or 4 times in one direction, then change. And then drop your feet down into the ground. Turn yourself over onto one side and bring yourself back into onto your hands and knees again. Once you're here, tuck those toes, lift up for the last time into a downward facing dog, pressing deep into the heels, lifting the hips, extending deep through that spine. That should feel nice. That should feel like your relaxation. And then slowly either bend the knees, walking your feet towards your hands, or hands to the feet, or meet in the middle. And then just allow your body to relax. Soften the knees, grab your elbows, and just do a gentle sway side to side. And then when you're ready, just release the arms, interlace your fingers behind the base of your spine, and take those arms up and over. Option is to stay with your legs bent, or you can try and extend. Stay in a forward fold, take a few breaths there. And then slowly release the hands back down towards the floor. Bring your hands to your legs and just walk up slowly one by one with those hands. When you reach the top, roll the chin up last. Find your balance either side and take a shoulder roll. And once you've done your shoulder rolls, open your palms, stand tall. Inhale, raise your arms all the way up, and then gently float them down in front of your chest. Give yourselves a bow and a clap. Thank you everybody for tuning in. Hope you enjoyed the stretching side and a little bit of yoga that I threw in. Have a wonderful week, and I'll catch you all soon. Bye.